So USC Cognitive Sciences came out with some research. Richard Clark did the work. And it's a big, huge, massive research paper. But here's the executive summary. People lose their motivation for these 4 reasons. Values mismatch. Okay? So what they value isn't aligned with what the project is. So this is why it's so important when we're launching a project to say why we're doing it. You know, this is going to increase our customer experience, which is going to help everybody feel more connected and blah, 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 blah. Okay? You guys all understand the increased role of HR, people, talent, and customer experience, right? You've read Temkin's research on how customer experience and employee engagement are like profoundly connected. Yes? Okay, if you don't know, it's really important to read that. Okay, so values mismatch. We have to help people understand how this particular project is meaningful and important so they can connect with it. Okay, lack of self-efficacy. It's a fancy term, but what it means is I'm not sure if I'm capable of doing this. Okay, so if somebody has a self-efficacy challenge, I'm not sure if I have the capability, if I have the skill set to do this. We need to sit down with them and make sure that they have the capacity, the time. This is a capacity capability issue. Do they have the time to do this, and do they have the skill set to do this? Do they need more resources? Right, that could be it. Do they need some mentoring? That could be it as well. Okay, so start to notice when demotivation occurs, what's going on here, right? Are they not feeling confident in their ability to execute? Okay. Number 3, disruptive emotions. Disruptive emotions is number 3. That's what we've been talking about today. They're either resisting it, they're not getting safety, belonging, or mattering. Okay. They're stuck in mockery. We have to look at what that disruptive emotion is. And the easiest way is to say to somebody, how are you doing? You know, once you get a more emotionally kind of agile culture, if you will, you can say, how are you feeling? Because we need to know where somebody is. And remember what we said yesterday. If somebody says, first of all, fine is not an emotion. Okay, if they say, oh, I'm fine. So how are you? That's when I would say, how are you feeling? Pull out the emotion wheel. Because we're all really emotional beings. I want to connect with you more deeply. If somebody says this is really hard, don't guess what that means. On your map of the world, it's different from what hard is for them. Say how specifically. Use the word specifically. We've tested it a million times. It's much better than exactly. Exactly feels like a test. How specifically is it hard? Hard compared to what? Okay, how specifically? Get the data so you can then help and lead them through, right? So disruptive emotions is number 3. Attribution errors is number 4. Attribution errors is number 4. And again, a sciencey term, what attribution errors really means is something went wrong and they're not sure why. Have you guys had that experience like a project tanks and you're just like, gosh, we did everything right. Why did this mess up? Yeah. So that's really demotivating because it's like you feel blindsided. You don't know what happened. So with attribution errors, we need to really sit down and say, let's look at what worked. Remember the feedback frame from yesterday. What worked with this project? Okay, good. Bing, bing, bing. What would we like to have seen more of? Bong, bong, bong. So we're making it safe to unpack and to get feedback.